essay question. At the same time, even if you choose not to answer the thyroid essay, it may be that you need some of this information to answer a couple of multiple choice questions. So even if you choose not to do this one, don't just discount the thyroid altogether, because in order to make sure that we're all getting at least some of this material, I have included some multiple choice true-false questions from each possible essay in the body. They're not going to be as detailed as the essay would be, but they're on big understanding portions. So this is the hypothalamic pituitary thyroid axis. First thing that happens, the hypothalamus produces TRH, which is thyrotropin releasing hormone. Sorry, chalk. Number 2, the TRH travels to the anterior pituitary to stimulate the release of TSH, which is the thyroid stimulating hormone. The TSH travels to the thyroid and increases, that's an I-, iodide uptake and increases production of T3 and T4. So there are two different mechanisms. You're increasing the intake of iodide. If you're taking it in via a sodium iodide symporter, maybe you're making more sodium iodide symporters. And then, and maybe you're changing the ratio of sodium intake. And then you're increasing production of T3, T4, which means you're increasing production of all of the proteins and enzymes involved in that process. It's a signal to tell those follicular cells to upregulate the process. Then, to shut things down, T3 travels back to the hypothalamus, enters the nucleus, and lowers production of TRH. It lowers the production of number 1, the thyrotropin releasing hormone. The net result is that you have lower T3 and T4 production in the thyroid gland. That's because when you reduce TRH, you don't make as much TSH. If you don't make as much TSH, you're not sending a signal to the thyroid gland to produce T3 and T4. You're shutting this signaling mechanism down. Number 5, so at the same time, if you're producing more T3, you're also producing more T4. So at the same time, T4 travels to the anterior pituitary. It enters and gets converted to T3, that active part, the triiodothyronine, the T3, enters the nucleus and lowers production of TSH. So you're lowering the production of the thyroid stimulating hormone directly. If you lower production of thyroid stimulating hormone, your net result is you're lowering T3 and T4 production because you're not sending this signal to the thyroid gland to make more. So let's go back to the essay and look at our choices. Let me take pictures of this first.